Here's a decent movie I saw recently that no one ever really talks about. Enemy Territory, an obscure action thriller from 1987. It had a very, very brief theatrical run before being released onto VHS, and to this day, it still has not had an official DVD release, which probably contributes to why it flies so below everyone's radar. It was directed by Peter Manoogian, not sure I'm pronouncing that right, who had just directed Eliminators and a segment from The Dungeon Master, and would go on to helm cult classics such as Arena and Demonic Toys. He now lives in the UK and has been assistant director on episodes of Holby City. When I saw this crop up on his IMDb page, I assumed it was someone else with the same name that IMDb had mistakenly fused together, but no, it's right there in his LinkedIn bio. The cinematographer for Enemy Territory was Ernest R. Dickerson, best known for shooting several of Spike Lee's movies such as Do the Right Thing and Malcolm X, as well as being a director in his own right. His work includes Tales from the Crypt, Demon Knight, Bulletproof, and several episodes of shows such as Dexter and The Walking Dead. The movie stars Gary Frank as Barry Rapchick, a New York City insurance executive whose life is on the rocks, both personally and professionally. Frank was the lead actor on the drama series Family, for which he won an Emmy Award in 1977. Barry gets the chance to save his career by venturing into a particularly dangerous housing project to fill out some insurance forms for an old lady called Elva, played by Frances Foster.
You must need the commission pretty badly to come into Lincoln Towers at night.
The tower block she lives in is under the control of a gang of street punks who call themselves the Vampires.
Show me your fangs!
Poor Barry's already out of his depth and makes things worse when he commits the fatal faux pas of tapping a young vampire on the shoulder.
You mocked the blood brother with a woman watching.
The vampires are soon on his ass, resulting in a scuffle that results in the death of both the building's one security guard and the vampire kid. They straight up kill the kid. This movie doesn't fuck around. Now Barry's a wanted man, trapped inside the tower block after dark with the vampires hot in his tail. His rescue comes in the unlikely form of Will Jackson, a tough telephone repairman played by none other than Ray Parker Jr. himself. Yes, the singer of Ghostbusters apparently tried to reinvent himself as an action hero. It didn't really catch on, but he's fairly good in this. His character is an ex-soldier, and since he's helping Gary out, he too becomes a target of the vampire's bloodlust.
Before the sun comes up, the ghost and the blood traitor must pay for our honor! For our honor! For Deacon!
By the way, the leader of the vampires is called the Count, and he's played by Tony fucking Todd. In what I think may be his first ever villain role. I could be mistaken about that, but it's certainly one of the first in a long career of playing villains. He's fucking awesome, as he always is.
After we done found those motherfuckers, cut off their balls and stuffed them down their throats, you and I are gonna have a little vampire party. And you gonna take it in every hole in your body. And then we gonna cut us some new holes and do those too. Now you talk!
Barry and Will team up with Elva's granddaughter Tony, played by future Clueless star, political talking head, Playboy model, and all-round controversy hound Stacey Dash. This is only her third IMDb credit, and the first theatrically released movie she appeared in. She leads them to the only one of the building's occupants that even the vampires are too scared to fuck with. A paranoid Vietnam vet, played by a wheelchair-bound MichaelVincent, a B-movie superstar best known for a starring role on Airwolf. He's armed to the teeth, and reluctantly lets the dynamic duo take refuge in his apartment. It's a brief role, but Vincent makes the most of it.
Where the fuck's my mangy cat? You know I got that goddamn cat. It tastes my food, make sure it's not poisoned. But I gotta shoot one every now and then, get another one. Cause they put those bugs in the cats to get me, you know. AIDS and cancer, pink eye, shit like that.
The vampires grab Tony and Elva and hold them hostage to lure Barry and Will out into the open.
We want the ghost and the blood traitor, or we do the bitches.
But Mr. Parker, he doesn't take no shit. Aw yeah, now this is what cinema was made for. But the fun has to come to an end eventually. The music in this movie is so cool, by the way. Barry, Will, and Tony are soon back on the move, hiding out in yet another apartment.
What the fuck you think you're doing? Hardy got busted once this week.
The The movie moves at quite a fast clip, which is a mixed blessing. On one hand, it's never boring, because it rarely slows down, but on the other, the characters feel lacking, as there's never time for them to really undergo any development. Like, there's a moment where Barry has to kill a man, and starts to freak out about it, but then Will immediately gets him to calm down, and they just move on.
You can do it, man. Come on, hold yourself together. You can make it.
These two start off with an interesting buddy cop dynamic where they don't really like each other but have to depend on one another to survive. But we never get a scene where they just stop and have an actual conversation. We don't learn what makes them tick. We don't see their relationship grow into anything meaningful or engaging. I'm not saying they had to become best buds by the end of the story, but it would have been nice to have gotten a sense that they'd undergone any significant changes as a result of their experience together.
Well, let me tell you something. I don't care if he's white, black, or fucking Fudge Ripple. Man's in trouble, I'm gonna help him.
Anyway, our heroes gain another unlikely ally in the form of a kid named Chet, who knows a way out of the building that even the vampires aren't aware of.
Chet, you wouldn't be jiving us, would you? I mean, our lives depend on this.
I ain't lying. Tell her, Mama. You know when I'm lying.
Chet's played by a young Dion Richmond in his debut role. Richmond would go on to appear on The Cosby Show and in horror movies such as Hatchet and Scream 3. He leads the group to an escape hatch in the basement, but only Tony is small enough to fit through. Barry and Will have to wait while she runs to the police station for help. As is typical of cops in movies, they couldn't be any less interested in helping.
The last time we set men up there, 2 men were shot. We're not anxious to go up there anymore.
So it's not long before the vampires invade the basement and Barry and Will are forced to flee into the open.
God!
Thankfully, Chet provides a distraction using Barry's insurance money, collected from Elva, to allow them to run straight out the front door. Yeah, this is what we've been waiting for. The final showdown between the boys and the Count. This is gonna be so cool. Oh wait, never mind. It's totally underwhelming and anticlimactic. Way more awesome is Elva showering the vampires with bullets from Parker's apartment. Yeah, way to go, Elva!
I think I hear the cavalry coming. You're bad insurance man? Oh, God, I hope not. I got this really shitty accident insurance.
The movie ends like all great movies do, with an outdated hip-hop song. Doesn't this sound a bit like the Halloween theme? Enemy Territory is a fun little thriller that reminds of movies like The Raid and Dread, with a healthy dose of The Warriors thrown in for good measure. I do wish they had developed the characters a bit more, which holds it back from being a great movie, but it is a good one.
I told it, man. Now stay there, you fucking freak!
And a Tony Todd bad guy performance is always worth watching.
4 of my soldiers are dead, and those cockroach scum still free, spreading their cancer through my castle.